Okay, welcome to this next segment of our Client Spotlight series. I am thrilled to be featuring the fabulous Katie Moulison. Hi, Katie, welcome.
Hi, thank you.
So glad you're here. So tell us a little bit about you. What do you do? Where do you live?
So I live
Story.
just north of Boston. I am a pain science nerd. I help people,
Yes, I love it.
yeah. I help people find that there is a way to break free from the mental and physical entrapment of pain. I'm a physical therapist and a yoga instructor and blend the two together in my practice.
Beautiful. I love it. What so you started your practice. When did you start it?
Um, Pretty much a year, like probably about a year ago this week, actually. I was like,
I love
oh,
it.
I should find a telehealth job. I was on furlough still, and other people were going back, and I was still on furlough. And I was like, I should see if I can find like a telehealth job, like just working for a company. And then all of the ones I found were like, you have to find your own clients. So I was like, well, I might as well find my own business, and like maybe I can just see a few people and
Right.
it'll help me. And then it kind of just spiraled from there to becoming my actual work.
I love it. Why would you build someone else's empire when you have to do all the work, right?
Yeah,
You just build your own.
as soon as I saw you have to find your own clients, I was like, okay, well, I'm definitely not doing that.
That's awesome. Well, you are just for yourself.
Well, yes, I was definitely
Right.
not doing it for someone that was going to pay me.
So what got you to me? How did not like me, but what got you to our programs? What was the broken path or the golden path that got you here?
Um, I don't even fully remember. I was like so completely engrossed in like just constantly searching things for business and like different Facebook groups and things. And I think Facebook kept like giving me ads for one of your programs.
Nice.
And you always say you don't get people through the ads, but I actually think that's how I found you. So occasionally it does happen.
Occasionally I do. Yeah, occasionally it happens. Yeah.
So I joined your Be the Boss of Your Career Mastermind Facebook group. And it was right around the time you were doing a Planning That Sticks challenge.
Mhm.
And that was May of last year, right around this time, maybe a little bit later.
Mhm.
Um, and that was like so eye-opening to me in terms of how to think about things, how to start everything. And then I did the Planning That Pays retreat day at the end of May last year. And then I was basically sold from there and needed more.
I love that. That first of all, I love that. Props to the Facebook ad gods who got you into our community because we love having you in our community, and it would be so sad if you weren't. And I love that you went through the Planning That Sticks challenge, which is a challenge we've done before to help with strategic planning, and then enrolled in the Powerful Planning That Pays retreat, and then up leveled into level two, the Be the Boss of Your Career level two program from there. When you were in that sort of like looking for all the things in your business and looking for advice and help and support, what would you say is the number one thing, if you could boil it down to one, what was the number one thing that was troubling or you were struggling with for you?
Um, I mean, I think that I just truly had no idea what I was doing. I had in my job, I was just so burnt out and overwhelmed, and I felt like that was just how it had to be. I had so much going on in my personal life that I didn't feel like it was the time to try to take on anything new, and that it felt like the only way I could do anything different than what I was doing was to like go back to school and get a master's degree. Like that was somehow what was in my brain. Um,
You're not alone in that thought process. Yeah.
yeah. And so that was kind of the biggest thing, was just realizing like, or at least that's what your programs, that's what kind of drew me to you. It was like realizing it is achievable and it doesn't have to be everything's perfect and lined up. And so I just felt like I had to have 1,000 things perfectly lined up before I could do it.
Oh, you wanted all your ducks in a row before you could get
Yeah.
started. I love that. I mean, some people function that way. It doesn't have to function that way. You can just get started. So then you decided to enroll in level two. What were you thinking before enrolling? You said it was a no-brainer. You're like, oh yeah, I was sold by that point. Were there any things running through your head that were objections where you're like, oh, like maybe I don't have all my ducks in a row or anything?
Um, I think I definitely in the back of my mind was like, am I ready to make this jump? It was sort of like, is this truly what I want to do? Because enrolling in the program was definitely an investment, not just financial investment, but like time. And it was a really big, I already had filed the paperwork for my LLC, but this felt like a bigger step of saying like, I am doing this, I am doing my business. And so it was definitely a scary step to make. And I kind of just had to make it without thinking, which is counter to who I am as a person, but that just felt like what I had.
Practice. That's what you're very well practiced at. I love it. Well, that makes a lot of sense if you hadn't even, I mean, you'd filed the paperwork for your LLC, but you really hadn't maybe 100% committed in your heart, you know, or maybe your heart was committed, but your head wasn't, you know, that actually sounds more accurate. And you just decided, listen, head, you don't get to make the decision, the heart's making the decision. I'm going for it. And okay, so when you invested, what would you say is the biggest 1 to 2 shifts you've made in life since you invested?
Sorry, I just froze, or you froze. I didn't hear what you said.
What would you say are the biggest upgrades you've noticed in your life since making that decision?
I think I'm living my life for me. In terms of like, I used to feel like I had to work X number of hours and I had to see X number of patients, and that I couldn't take a Tuesday afternoon off, or I couldn't, take a nap on a Monday if I wasn't feeling well. Like I'm living life for myself and realizing that I'm just as good, if not better, at my work.
Oh man, I love that so much.
I think the other piece is I've just been able to figure out like what I truly want to do and like where I want my life to go. And financially, a really like interesting thing for us, and this was somewhat COVID related too, but for my husband and I, like we realized that a lot of the money we were like needing was because we also then needed to like go out for an expensive dinner, and like we realized we were spending a lot of money because we had no energy. Like we didn't want to have like a date night at home and cook because we were just exhausted and burnt out. We didn't want to like sit and build a Lego set at night after dinner because we were exhausted and burned out. So we were just spending a lot of money on not even stuff, but just like going out to eat.
Experiences.
Yeah. And now we're pretty content to just like hang out at night and cook dinner together and build Legos. Like it
build Legos.
We don't I knew you'd love that part. We don't need we didn't need as much money as we thought we did. Like we realized that if we made a little bit less money, we actually enjoyed life more and needed less money. So
that's so interesting that when you were working so hard, I mean, it's not interesting that when you were working hard, you were exhausted and burned out. That's just kind of a given. So interesting though, that to finance that life was so much more expensive than when you stepped into your own living life for yourself. I love that quote. I want to put that on a t-shirt. And doing work the way that you want to do work, which obviously meant you had to get clear on what you wanted too, you know, that life became less expensive. That's really mind-blowing. For so many people, it goes just the opposite. When they get the freedom, they spend more money because they're making more money. But I love that you zeroed in on, I don't actually have to do that because I don't need that level of life support anymore. Literal, like keeping you alive life support.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
some of
so
that
cool.
too, things with COVID and my husband's job and his income fluctuating a little bit. And we had, bigger things than just my business, but it really was a huge shift for both of us. And it fed into it. Like I was able to make the leaps that I have in my business because we've adopted that attitude, and we adopted that attitude because of the leaps I could make in my business. So
Do more with less. I love it. Oh, so beautiful. Okay, so speaking of your business, so we talked about life upgrades. What would you say are the top 1 to 2 upgrades? Since obviously you didn't even have a business when you joined the level 2 program, but what are the 2 biggest upgrades you've experienced as a business owner since joining the program?
well, I would say my like official start date was July of last year, and in my first 6 months of my business, I did like 20 client sessions. That was in a 6-month period, and now I'm doing about 20 a month.
Wow.
Beginning of 2021. That's where I've averaged. It's been a little bit higher the last couple months, but basically starting in January, that's about where I've been. So that was a huge upgrade.
No
Um,
doubt.
I've
That's
also
amazing.
to realize that I could pull in my yoga background and start doing more with that. So I'm still working to build that into my practice, but it also gave me the confidence to just talk to someone I know who owns a studio and ask to teach a class, like things that I just would have felt impossible before, to like, oh, I can't just ask for that. Like I have to wait for someone to ask me for this thing that they don't even know that I want. Like now it
Mind
just,
reading.
yeah, it would seem like, oh, I just have to sit and wait, and how would they ever know that? And it sounds like so absurd now, but that's how it felt. So
Okay, so let's dig into that for a second. So what shifted for you to, first of all, awesome that you're adding yoga. Let me highlight that. Secondly, what shifted for you in order to be able to ask for what you want rather than wait for someone to do some type of Jedi mind trick and read your mind and just present it to you on a silver platter?
I think a huge part of it was just confidence, just through working with the Be the Boss of Your Career group and hearing, leaps other people were making and being able to talk things through, and getting more confident on who I am and what I want to do. But also a really big one was that whole like just be a good human piece of like just having relationships with people, just being a good human and having that relationship and feeling like, hey, I can ask this question, and like I know I'm a good person, she knows I'm a good person, and if it doesn't fit for her studio, she can say no, and that's fine for both of us.
Just be a good human. It really is that simple when it comes for to marketing and networking and getting what you need in terms of like, I love that you're coordinating with other studio owners for stuff. That's so beautiful. And building a community, as you mentioned, in the Be the Boss community as well. Just be a good human.
Yep.
So, about the community, what is it in terms of the overall vibe of the group, the people in the program, the feel of like a group mastermind container? What is your favorite element of that?
um I love that it's a group of like-minded people, but not the same. Like we're not all the same. We're not all doing the same things with our
So
business.
true.
We're not all PTs. We're all like, I don't think there's like really anyone that has like the exact same model as anybody else in our group. I was even thinking 2 people are doing pelvic health, but even they have really different models. Like
So different. Mm-hmm.
everyone just has their own thing, and it makes it really awesome. I think that actually really helps with the confidence for knowing what I want to do, because it's like, well, there is no right way, which I hate. That is like the thing that I hate the most, is when you say there's no right answer, but it's also the thing I love the most.
The
Because
paradox.
yeah, it's just being, everyone has their own unique viewpoints and backgrounds and goals with their business, and is open-minded to other people's ideas and thoughts. And I think that's really where the value is.
that like-mindedness in being open-minded and supported while
Yep.
while embracing differences and, you know, everyone's unique approach. And I love that you have a love-hate with no right answer, because that's really what we stand for in our brand, in this program, in all of the Be the Boss programs. Is you get to come up with the right answer. We'll give you a bank of options. Maybe maybe sometimes we're pulling it out of you, but it's totally, that's what it means to be the boss, is you make the choice, you know. And it's so much more sustaining and fulfilling when you get to make that choice, when you get to not just live life for yourself, but do business for yourself as well. What is your well, who, knowing your background as a physical therapist and yoga teacher, and that you see that there's a really quite diverse group of people who are in the program, who would you say is the right fit for this program? Who would you recommend take it?
I think people who want to make a change, want things to be different, and to build the life they want, but just feel really overwhelmed or assume it's just not possible. I think that's how I definitely felt, was like, this can't possibly be a thing that I could do. And I know it seems like that's sort of a common theme in various degrees. And I think that's who you work with. I feel like is that whole, you feel like you can't do it, but you actually can, and you just need someone to help kind of pull it out of you.
I love that. Overcome the impossibility and see that the possibility is not only possible, but doable, and maybe even easy, you know, or easier than you thought, right? Not as hard and toiling and struggling as.
Yeah. I think people who want to support others too, I think there's so much to gain from helping other people sort through their challenges and discuss their thoughts and plans. And like, there's just so much to learn about yourself and about what else you want to do in your business with that.
I love that you said that, because I know you are such a cheerleader, right? I love that part of having you in the program. I resonate with that as well. I love to wake up in the morning in the group masterminds I'm in and see what everyone else is doing and cheer them on, because if I can give it to others, it means that I can also cheer on myself. We can only give to others what we can give ourselves. And sometimes we don't give ourselves enough cheering on, obviously. And we give too much to others, like as a projection of what we actually need. But I love that you said people who actually want to be supportive. That's beautiful. What, knowing that you were kind of questioning if it were even possible, what types of, like, when you were deciding to join, right? Let me ask this differently. What would you go back and tell yourself now? What would you tell that version of you who was just starting her business, knowing what you know now?
In a simple phrase, like, trust the process. I think that's something I've had to say to myself a lot over the last year. And then I go back to it again, because then I stop trusting the process again and have to repeat. But I think starting my business and starting this program were probably some of the actually least thought out things I've done in my life. And I think that's a really good thing. And I didn't overthink it. And I think that just trusting the process and not overthinking it are the best thing to do moving through it.
Trust the process. Don't overthink it. Those definitely need to be t-shirts and bumper stickers. For sure. We'll get you one for sure.
Yeah.
You can just wear trust the process across your chest.
In front of me all the time. Like I say that, but it's so hard in the moments to realize that. But
Oh, so you don't need to wear it. We need to put it on your
yeah,
computer screen or
I
something.
mean, like my dog
Okay.
to wear, maybe. Yeah.
Your dog can wear it. I see dogs come up in every single one of these conversations. Dogs are very important in this program. I love it. Well, this has been an amazing spotlight, Katie. Thank you for joining us. It will help so many people to see that point you said of this is possible. I didn't think it was possible, and here I am. I am, I think you're such a wonderful highlight for that line of thinking where it once was and now believing in what could be. So one more thing, what now is possible for you moving forward?
What do you mean, like in terms of my business or?
Yeah, what's a goal? Like, what do you now see could be a goal?
So I had a goal that by the fall of 2021, I was going to leave my salaried position. And instead I gave my notice at the end of January. And now a lot of per diem work. So my next goal is to get to a point where it's kind of a staggered process of tapering down, but to move away from my per diem work and truly just be full-time in my business.
Wow, you
Like
crushed that goal.
I remember saying I think it was in the Powerful Planning in December when I said I had a goal to leave my salary job by the fall. I remember saying like, this feels crazy. And I like, can't even believe I'm saying this out loud. And I literally did it like 2 months later.
Or 2 months later.
So as crazy as it feels,
Oh, you froze. Let's say that again. You're saying as crazy as it feels.
So as crazy as it feels to say that I could leave my per diem job and just be full-time in my business, like it seemed crazy to me in December that I wrote down a goal to leave my salary job. So now it feels like it's obviously going to be possible. So
I think those might be our famous last words for ending our live stream interview here on when you say it feels crazy, chances are the boulder is already rolling down the hill and it's already in motion if you've written down the goal. I love that. The universe just gives to you and sometimes sooner than you think. So you better be ready.
yep.
That's awesome. Well, thanks again for being here, Katie, and we'll have to have you back to give an update some other time.
All right. Thank you.